blackout. And y'all know what them blacks about. Yeah. Okay, say it with me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Ain't no more black people going to hell. Let's go. Forget an LLC. The world was black owned. Black kings, black crowns on a black throne. Black kings, black queens making black clones. Black peace back east, bringing back those. Poverty, slavery, and they snatched souls. Prison system, feminism, and the crack soul. Still couldn't kill us, then we came back bold. The Most High put some fire on these black coals. I ain't here to jeopardize it, just to add a fire. This a Malcolm X mixed with some Hezekiah. This a Muhammad Ali with some Nehemiah. This some stop being the lowest, time to get higher. Even at our best, we still ain't maxed out. I wish I had a wood, I'd bring the axe out. And all we ever do is bring the facts out. Once the blacks come in, it's a blackout. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Ain't no more black people going to hell. Let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Ain't no more black people going to hell. Let's go. Ain't no more black people going to hell. Let's go. Ain't no more black people going to hell. Let's go. Ain't no more black people going to hell. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. We're raising up Israel. Let's go. We're raising up the Israelites. Let's go. We're raising up Israel. Let's go. We're raising up the Israelites. Let's go.
All right. Shalom, Israel. It seems like it's been forever since the last time we've on a video. Sorry for that. We've been out for the past couple of weeks. Whole family is down bad, fighting the flu and all of that good stuff. But as you see, we are back in live effect. I want to say Shabbat Shalom to those of my brethren that we did not get in touch with during the Shabbat. I hope that we find y'all in as close to perfect Shabbat as we possibly can be while we sit here and live in this here land of our captivity. As y'all see, I got my twin brother in the building. He's going to be joining me today with the reading of the scriptures today. What's going on, Yanakotha?
Shalom. What's going on?
And without further ado, we're going to jump right on into the scripture and pick up where we left off. All right. Yanakotha, you want to kick us off?
Yeah. We in the book of Exodus, chapter 17. And it reads in this and likewise, on verse 1. And all the congregation of the children of Yisrael departed on their journey from the wilderness of Sin, according to the command of Yahuwah, and camped at Rephidim. And there was no water for the people to drink. Therefore the people strove with Moshe and said, "Give us water to drink." And Moshe said to them, "Why do you strive with me? Why do you try Yahuwah?" And the people thirsted there for water. And the people grumbled against Moshe and said, "Why do you bring us out of Mitzrayim to kill us and our children and our livestock with thirst?" Then Moshe cried out to Yahuwah, saying, "What am I to do with this people? Yet a little, and they shall all stone me." And Yahuwah said to Moshe, "Pass over before the people, and take with you some of the elders of Yisrael, and take in your hand the rod which you struck the river, and go. And see, I'm standing before you there on the rock in Horeb. And you shall smite the rock, and water shall come out of it, and the people shall drink." Moshe did so before the eyes of the elders of Yisrael, and he called the name of that place Massah in Meribah, because of the strife of the children of Yisrael, and because they tried Yahuwah, saying, is Yahuwah in our midst or not? So, Masa, strife, Merava, try. That's what that means. So, verse 8, and Amalek came and fought with Yisrael in Rephidim. And Moshe said to Yehoshua, choose for us men and go out and fight with Amalek. Tomorrow I am stationing myself on top of the hill with the rod of Elohim in my hand. And Yehoshua did as Moshe said to him, to fight with Amalek. And Moshe and Aaron and Korah went up to the top of the hill. And it came to be when Moshe held up his hands that Yisrael prevailed. And when he let down his hands, Amalek prevailed. But Moshe's hands were heavy. So they took a stone and put it under the arm, and he sat on it. Took a stone and put it under him, and he sat on it. And Aaron and Hur supported his hand, one on one side and the other on the other side, and his hands were steady until the going down of the sun. And Yehoshua defeated Amalek and his people with the edge of the sword. And Yahuwah said to Moshe, write this for a remembrance in the book and recite it in the hearing of Yehoshua, that I shall completely blot out the remembrance of Amalek from under the sun, or from under the Shamayim. And Moshe built an altar and called its name Yahuwah Nisi, for he said, because a hand is on the throne of Yah, Yahuwah is to fight against Amalek from generation to generation.
Amalek. Fought with Amalek. Notice he ain't say nothing about no Midian. Going into it, though, continuing on with chapter 18, when Jethro, the priest of Midian, Moshe's father-in-law, heard of all that Elohim had done for Moshe and for Yasharel, his people, and that Yahuwah had brought Yasharel out of Mizraim. Then Jethro, Moshe's father-in-law, took Zipporah, Moshe's woman, after he had sent her back, and her two children, her two sons, of which the name of the one was Gershom, for he said, I have been an alien in a strange land. Verse 4. And the name of the other was Eleazar, for the Elohai of my father, said he, was my help, and delivered me from the sword of Pharaoh. And Jethro, Moshe's father-in-law, came with his sons and his woman unto Moshe into the wilderness, where he encamped at the mount of Elohim. And he said unto Moshe, I, your father-in-law, Jethro, am come unto you, and your woman and her two sons with her. Verse 7. And Moshe went out to meet his father-in-law, and did obeisance, and kissed him. And they asked each other of their welfare, and they came into the tent. And Moshe told his father-in-law all that Yahuwah had done unto Pharaoh and to the Mizrahites for Yasharel's sake, and all the travail that had come upon them by the way, and how Yahuwah delivered them. And Jethro rejoiced for all the goodness which Yahuwah had done to Yasharel, whom he had delivered out of the hand of Mizraim. Verse 10. And Jethro said, blessed be Yahuwah, who has delivered you out of the hand of the Mizrahites, and of the hand of Pharaoh, who has delivered the people from under the hand of the Mizrahites. Now I know that Yahuwah is greater than all Elohim, for in the thing wherein they dealt proudly, he was above them. Notice, he's a Midianite. He's family. He's a Hebrew. But he doesn't serve, or up until that point, did not serve Yahuwah. He served other ones, other Elohim. And right here, he's recognizing that the Elohim of Yisrael, their cousin, is the true Elohim, greater than all the others, greater than the ones that he served. Verse 11, I'm going to repeat it. Now I know that Yahuwah is greater than all Elohim, for in the thing wherein they dealt proudly, he was above them. And Jethro, Moshe's father-in-law, took an ascending smoke offering and sacrifices for Elohim. And Aaron came and all the elders of Yisrael to eat bread with Moshe's father-in-law before Elohim. Verse 13, and it came to pass on the morrow that Moshe sat to judge the people, and the people stood by Moshe from the morning until evening. And when Moshe's father-in-law saw all that he did to the people, he said, what is this thing that you do to the people? Why sit you yourself alone? And all the people stand by you from morning until evening. And Moshe said unto his father-in-law, because the people come unto me to inquire of Elohim. Verse 16, when they have a matter, they come unto me, and I judge between one and another, and I do make them know the statutes of Elohim and his Torah. Said, not only am I judging the matter, I'm teaching them the statutes in the Torah that we're supposed to live forever. And Moshe's father-in-law said unto him, the thing that you do is not good. You will surely wear away, both you and this people that is with you, for this thing is too heavy for you. You are not able to perform it yourself alone. Hearken now unto my voice. I will give you counsel, and Elohim shall be with you before the people to Elohim ward, that you may bring the causes unto Elohim. Excuse me. Verse 20. And you shall teach them ordinances and Torah, and shall show them the way wherein they must walk, and the work that they must do. Moreover, you shall provide out of all the people able men, such as fear Elohim, men of truth, hating covetousness, and place such over them to be rulers of thousands, and rulers of hundreds, rulers of fifties, and rulers of tens. And let them judge the people at all seasons. And it shall be that every great matter they shall bring unto you, but every small matter they shall judge. So shall it be easier for yourself, and they shall bear the burden with you. His father-in-law said, look, you too important to be sitting here having to listen to the little bitty minuscule bullshit that shouldn't be reaching your ears. You need to place some people around you that you can trust that's actually following the words of Elohim, and have them deal with the petty shit. All of the important shit, yeah, you go ahead and you deal with that, and all of that little trifling crap, have people deal with that. Otherwise, you're going to wear yourself out. All right. Verse 23. If you shall do this thing, and Elohim command you so, then you shall be able to endure. And all this people shall also go to their place in peace. So Moshe hearkened to the voice of his father-in-law, and did all that he had said. And Moshe chose able men out of all Yisrael, and made them heads over the people, rulers of thousands, rulers of hundreds, rulers of fifties, and rulers of tens. And they judged the people at all seasons. The hard causes they brought unto Moshe, but every small matter they judged themselves. And Moshe let his father-in-law depart, and he went his way into his own land. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
anybody to give you some wisdom if you open up your ears and is open to listening.
And you say, hey, come here, listen here, son-in-law. I know you're doing the right thing here, but listen to wisdom. This will help you out a little bit. You don't have to deal with all of this foolery. Just keep it small. All right, going into chapter 19, verse 1 reads this and likewise. In the third month after the children of Israel had came out of the land of Mizraim, on this day they came to the wilderness of Sinai, where they departed from Rephidim and had come to the wilderness of Sinai. And they encamped in the wilderness. So Yisrael camped there before the mountain. And Moshe went up to Elohim, and Yahuwah called to him from the mountain, saying, this is what you are to say to the house of Yaakov, and declare to the children of Yisrael. You have seen what I did to the Mitzrayim, how I bore you on eagle's wing and brought you to myself. And now, if you diligently obey my voice and shall guard my covenant, then you shall be my treasured possessions above all the peoples, for all the earth is mine. And you shall be to me a reign of Kohanim and a Kodesh nation. Those are the words which you are to speak to the children of Yasharel. And Moshe came and called for the elders of the people and put before them all these words which Yahuwah had commanded him. And all the people answered together and said, all that Yahuwah has spoken we shall do. So Moshe brought back the words of the people to Yahuwah. And Yahuwah said to Moshe, see, I am coming to you in a thick cloud, so that the people hear when I speak with you and believe you forever. And Moshe reported the words to the people to the people to Yahuwah. And Yahuwah said to Moshe, go to the people and kodesh them today and tomorrow, and they shall wash their garments, and they shall be prepared by the third day. For on the third day Yahuwah shall come down upon Mount Sinai before the eyes of all the people. And you shall make a border for the people all around, saying, take heed to yourselves, that you do not go up to the mountain or touch the border of it. Whoever touches the mountain shall certainly be put to death. Not a hand is to touch it, but he shall certainly be stoned or shot with an arrow, whether man or beast, he shall not live. When the trumpet sounds long, let them go up to the mountain. And Moshe came down from the mountain to the people and Kodesh the people, and they washed their garments. And he said to the people, be prepared by the third day. Do not come near a wife. Why would he say that? Because in order to purify yourself, he meant sexually as well. So you couldn't even come into your wife. You had to abstain from sex. He said, do not come near a wife. And it came to be on the third day in the morning that there were thunderings and lightning and a thick cloud on the mountain. And the sound of a ram's horn was very loud. And all the people who were in the camp trembled. And Moshe brought the people out of the camp to meet with Elohim. And they stood at the foot of the mountain. And Mount Sinai was in a smoke, all of it, because Yahuwah descended upon it in fire. And its smoke went up like the smoke of a furnace. And all the mountain trembled exceedingly. And when the blast of the ram's horn sounded long and became very strong, Moshe spoke, and Elohim answered him by voice. And Yahuwah came down upon the Mount Sinai, upon the top of the mountain. And Yahuwah called Moshe to the top of the mountain, and Moshe went up. And Yahuwah said to Moshe, go down and warn the people lest they break through unto Yahuwah to see, and many of them fall. And let the Kohanim who came near to Yahuwah kodesh themselves too, lest Yahuwah break out against them. And Moshe said to Yahuwah, the people are not able to come up to Mount Sinai, for you warned us, saying, make a border around the mountain and kodesh it. And Yahuwah said to him, come, go down, then come up, you and Aharon with you. But do not let the Kohanim and the people break through to come up to Yahuwah, lest he break out against them. And Moshe went down to the people and spoke to them.
Now we're getting ready to start getting into that hot and heavy. Although we in Exodus, we all know what's getting ready to go down as Moshe climbs that mountain. So without further ado,
can you imagine? Hold up. You've been following a pillar of fire by night and a cloud by day.
right?
And then Yahuwah himself reveals himself to the entire nation of Yisrael on top of Mount Sinai and speaks to him, bruh.
Exactly. I can't even fathom the thought of that. And then to realize that our ancestors saw all of that and was still hard-headed as hell.
Bruh.
All right, without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into chapter 20. And Elohim spoke all these words, saying, I am Yahuwah Alahakah, which have brought you out of the land of Mizraim, out of the house of bondage. You shall have no other Elohim before me. You shall not make unto you any graven image or any likeness of anything that is in the heavens above, or that is in the earth beneath, or that is in the water unto the earth. Which is the reason why a lot of us have an issue with that graven image that IUIC keeps putting out of their little leader being what the Most High looked like. Foolish. We know his color, so clearly we know he is us. But now we don't know exactly what the hell he looked like. And the moment you put a face to it, it's a graven image. Verse 5. You shall not bow down yourself to them, nor serve them. For I, Yahuwah Alahakah, am a jealous El, visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children, unto the third and fourth generation of them that hate me, and showing mercy unto thousands of them that love me, and guard my commandments. You shall not take the name of Yahuwah Alahakah in vain, for Yahuwah will not hold them guiltless. That takes his name in vain. Remember the day of the Sabbath, to keep it holy. For all of you Christian Hebrew Israelites out there, the Sabbath, remember the seventh day. And the seventh day has nothing to do with the Sunday. That falls in line with the Sunday worship of Saturn, the Roman pagan god that the Romans love most. We are to keep the Sabbath day, the seventh day. What's the seventh day? Let's count it out. Verse 9. 6 days shall you labor and do all your work. Verse 10. But the seventh day is the Sabbath of Yahuwah Alahakah. In it you should not do any work, you nor your son, nor your daughter, nor your manservant, nor your maidservant, nor your cattle, nor your stranger that is within your gates. For in 6 days Yahuwah made the heavens and the earth, the sea, and all that in them is. Excuse me, let me reread that. For in 6 days Yahuwah made the heavens and the earth, the sea, and all that in them is, and rested the seventh day. It didn't say anything about him looking up at the moon and deciding to rest. None of that. It says 6 days he worked, and then on the seventh day he rested. No extraness involved. No extraness needed. Sometimes we get a little bit too damn deep for ourselves. Wherefore Yahuwah blessed the day of the Sabbath and hallowed it. Verse 12. Honor your father and your mother, that your days may be long upon the land, which Yahuwah Elohaka gives you. You shall not kill. You shall not break wedlock. You should not steal. You should not bear false witness against your neighbor, even if it's a small lie. You shall not lust after your neighbor's house. You shall not lust after your neighbor's woman, nor his manservant, nor his maidservant, nor his ox, nor his ass, nor anything that is your neighbor's. If it don't belong to you, your ass shouldn't be lusting after it. If it was supposed to belong to you, you would have got it. And all the people saw the thunderings and the lightnings and the noise of the shofar and the mountain smoking. And when the people saw it, they removed and stood afar off. I can't even lie. I'd be lying if I said I wouldn't be a little bit scared my damn self if I would have saw that. Verse 19. And they said unto Moshe, speak with us, and we will hear. But let not Elohim speak with us, lest we die. And Moshe said unto the people, fear not, for Elohim is come to prove you, and that his fear may be before your faces, that ye sin not. Verse 21. And the people stood afar off, and Moshe drew near unto the thick darkness where Elohim was. And Yahuwah said unto Moshe, thus you shall say unto the children of Yisrael, ye have seen that I have talked with you from heaven. Ye shall not make with me Elohai of silver, neither shall ye make unto ye Elohai of gold. Verse 24. An altar of earth you shall make unto me, and shall sacrifice thereon your ascending smoke offerings and your peace offerings, your sheep and your oxen, and all places where I record my name. I will come unto you, and I will bless you. Were you guys able to hear me? Put a 1 in the comment section if you could have heard all of that, or if I cut out.
No, you crystal clear.
All right. Shalom, Tobiah. All right, picking up with verse 25. And if you will make me an altar of stone, you shall not build it of hewn stone. That means you shouldn't cut it. Just pick up a big ass boulder and you use that. For if you lift up your tool upon it, you have polluted it. Verse 26, final verse. Neither shall you go up by steps unto my altar, that your nakedness be not discovered thereon. See, we're getting into the commandments and the ordinances that we're supposed to be following, that we're supposed to be keeping forever. This is the prelude to the curses for those of us that wasn't able to keep up with that. This right here is the prelude for us finding out why the hell we are here. I know this is chapter 21 and this is supposed to be the final chapter, but I ain't realized how quick these chapters was going. So, Yanakota, if you're in agreement, we missed 2 weeks. We can go ahead and make that up tonight if you want.
Yeah, we can do another two more verse, two more. We'll go ahead and knock out 21 real quick.
Go ahead.
All right, this is chapter 21 and 1. It says, and these are the right rulings which you are to put before them. When you buy an Hebrew servant, he serves 6 years. In the 7th, he goes free for naught. If he comes in by himself and he goes out by himself, if he comes in married, then his wife shall go out with him. If his master has given him a wife, and she has borne him sons or daughters, the wife and her children are her master's, and he goes out by himself. And if the servant truly says, I love my master, my wife, and my children, let me not go out free, then the master shall bring him before Elohim, and shall bring him to the door or to the doorpost, and his master shall pierce his ears with an awl, and he shall serve him forever. And when a man sells his daughter to be a female servant, she does not go out as the male servants do. If she is displeasing in the eyes of her master, who has engaged himself to her, or engaged her to himself, then he shall let her be ransomed, and he shall have no authority to sell her to a foreign people because of him deceiving her. In other words, if he decided he was going to take on a female wife and she just happened to be a Hebrew servant, a Hebrew servant girl, and he took her on to be his wife, he can't just, if he doesn't like her for whatever reason, he can't just sell her to some random Edomite or Amalekite or whatever just because. He can't do that. So picking up verse 7. Oh no, I'm sorry. Verse 8. It says, if she is displeasing in the eyes of her master, who is engaged in her to himself, then he shall let her be ransomed. In other words, somebody can come and redeem her, but she's got to be they got to be a Hebrew. It says, he shall have no authority to sell her to a foreign people because of him deceiving her. If he has engaged her to his son, he is to do to her as the rights of a daughter. In other words, if he engages her, this servant Hebrew girl, because like my brother always say, there was other Hebrews, not just the Israelites, but you had the Midianites, the Medanites. There was a lot of different Hebrews out there, Ishmaelites. So if they had a servant girl that was of these Hebrew houses that were servants to them, and they engaged her to the son, she got all the rights that you would perform with an Israelite woman. You couldn't cheat her on that.
As a daughter.
Yeah, as an Israelite daughter. It says right here, it says, if he has engaged her to his son, he is to do to her as is the right of daughters. If he takes another, her food, her covering, and her marriage rights are not to be diminished. If he does not do these 3 for her, then she shall go out for naught and without silver. He who strikes a man so that he dies shall certainly be put to death. But if he did not lie and wait, if he did not lie and wait, but Elohim delivered him into his hand, then I shall appoint for you a place where he is to flee. This is the city of refuge law. All right, verse 14. But when a man acts presumptuously against his neighbor to kill him by treachery, you are to take him from my altar to die. And he who smites his father or his mother shall certainly be put to death. Why? Because that is a clear violation of what he told them to do. Honor thy father and thy mother. Violation of that, the penance of that was you was to be put to death.
Salakia, bro. Hey, y'all, make sure y'all pay attention. Special attention to verse 16 that's coming up. Go ahead, bro.
Verse 16. And he who kidnaps a man and sells him, or if he is found in his hands, shall certainly be put to death. I'm going to say that again. And he who kidnaps a man and sells him, or if he is found in his hands, shall certainly be put to death. Now, I'm gonna put a pin in that real quick. I don't know about the rest of y'all, but wasn't there a group of people that was kidnapped from a certain place and then sold in a certain place? And aren't we still in a possession, technically, in the land here of our captivity?
I mean, I kind of figured that would be that would be intriguing for those of us that still rant and rave about reparations and freedom acts and hate crime bills because we ain't been sent back home, still in the land of our captivity.
Big fact. Now, look how adamant you young folks of Israel that happen to stumble across this, you youngsters who don't think that you got to pay any attention to your elders, to your moms and your dad and your granny and grandmama and granddaddy and all of them. Look how adamant the Most High is about respecting your elders. Look what he say right here in verse 17. He who curses his father or his mother shall certainly be put to death. Ain't that what Gorilla Hebrew do with his mama every time they talk about it? He cursed her. According to the scripture right here in verse 17, it says, he who curses his father or his mother shall certainly be put to death. Going on to verse 18. And when men strive together, and one smites the other with a stone or with his fist, and he does not die, and is confined to his bed, if he rises again and walks outside with his staff, then he who smote him shall be innocent. He only pays for the lost time and sees to it that he is completely healed. In other words, you couldn't just go out there and beat somebody's ass and think that was the end of it. No, if you really hurt that person, then you had to make up for it. You had to make sure that person was okay and see to their wounds.
You got to pay that workman's comp and pay them hospital bills, huh?
Yeah. You paid for that. They didn't have to pay for that. You paid for that. You the one that did it. You knocked his ass out. You broke his jaw. You made sure he okay then. That's what the Most High is saying. Verse 20. And when a man smites his male or female servants with a rod, so that he dies under the hand, he shall certainly be avenged. In other words, all of y'all that's got that in your mind, you think you finna beat somebody, a slave to death, and all of it. No, no, no. If you kill a servant, male or female servant, you definitely gonna be severely punished. You will be that blood will be avenged. All right, 21. But if he remains alive a day or two, he is not avenged, for he is his property. And when men strive, and they shall smite a pregnant woman, and her children come out, and yet there is no injury, he shall certainly be punished according as the woman's husband lays upon him, and he shall pay by the judges. But if there is injury, then you shall give life for life, eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth, a hand for a hand, and a foot for a foot, burn for burn, wound for wound, lash for lash. And when a man smites the eye of his male or female servant and destroys it, then he is to let him go free for the sake of his eye. And if he knocks out the tooth of his male or female servant, he is to let them go free for the sake of his tooth. And when an ox gores a man or a woman to death, then the ox shall certainly be stoned, and the flesh is not eaten, and the owner of the ox is innocent. However, if the ox was previously in the habit of goring, and its owner had been warned, and he has not kept it confined, so that it has killed a man or a woman, the ox is stoned, and its owner also is put to death. Why? For being negligent. If a sin covering is laid upon him, then he shall give the ransom of his life, whatever is laid on him. Whether it has gored a son or gored a daughter, according to the right ruling, it is done to him. If the ox gores a male or female servant, he is to give their master 30 shekels of silver, and the ox is stoned. Either way, this ox is not going to make it out of there. Either way, the ox is not going to make it. Verse 33, and when a man opens a pit, or if he digs a pit and does not cover it, and an ox or a donkey falls in it, and the owner of the pit then the owner of the pit is to repay, and he is to give silver to the owner, and the dead is his. In other words, if an ox or an ass fall into the pit, he got to pay the owner, and then he got to keep the carcass. So might work out if you want the ox, but
I was
not
about
so
to
much.
say, hey, it's food.
Verse 35, and when the ox of a man smites the ox, when the ox of a man smites the ox of his neighbor and it dies, then they shall sell the live ox and divide the silver from it, and also divide the dead ox. In other words, ain't no sense in getting upset about it. You take the one that did the killing and sell his heathen ass. Then the one that's dead, you go ahead, carve him up, and have a barbecue and split the dividends. Ain't no sense in going at each other's throat. Verse 36. Or if it was known that the ox was previously in the habit of goring, and its owner has not kept it confined, it shall certainly he shall certainly repay ox for ox, while the dead is his. In other words, if he's already been told and the ox did it anyway, and the ox go ahead and kill the other ox, well, by rights, the owner of the dead ox can walk over and be like, "Thank you," and walk right off with the live ox, and he's stuck with the dead one.
You know what's funny is the Western world keeps saying how it was built off of the foundations of the Bible. But with that being said, just with how torturous the transatlantic, well, I'll just say the sub-Saharan slave trades, just by how treacherous them shits were. All of our ancestors should have got their freedom just because they all got their asses kicked. If we go on by scripture, because like they said, even this here country was built off of the Bible, quote unquote. But if they follow in the Bible and the laws that's in the Bible, seems like we should have, quote unquote, been free a long ass time ago. Just saying, food for thought. With that being said, let's go ahead and jump into chapter 22. If a man should steal an ox or a sheep and kill it or sell it, he shall restore 5 oxen for an ox and 4 sheep for a sheep. If a thief be found breaking up and be smitten that he die, there shall no blood be shed for him. If the sun be risen upon him, there should be blood shed for him, for he should make full restitution. If he have nothing, then he shall be sold for his theft. Verse 4. If the theft be certainly found in his hand alive, whether it be ox or ass or sheep, he shall restore double. If a man shall cause a field or vineyard to be eaten, and shall put in his beast, and shall feed in another man's field of the beast of his own field, and of the best, not beast, and of the best of his own vineyard, shall he make restitution. So if you go feed and have your animals feed in the best part of somebody else's field, you damn sure gonna pay it back out of the best of your field. Verse 6. If fire break out and catch in thorns, so that the stacks of grain or the standing grain or the field be consumed therewith, he that kindles the fire shall surely make restitution. If a man shall deliver unto his neighbor money or stuff to guard, and it be stolen out of the man's house, if the thief be found, let him pay double. If the thief be not found, then the master of the house shall be brought unto the judges to see whether he have put his hand unto his neighbor's goods. For all manner of transgression, whether it be for ox, for ass, for sheep, for raiment, or for any manner of lost thing, which another challenges to be his, the cause of both parties shall come before the judges, and whom the judges shall condemn, he shall pay double unto his neighbor. Verse 10. If a man deliver unto his neighbor an ass or an ox or a sheep or any beast to guard, and it die or be hurt or driven away, no man seeing it, then shall an oath of Yahuwah be between them both, that he has not put his hand unto his neighbor's goods, and the owner of it shall accept thereof, and he shall not make it good. And if it be stolen from him, he shall make restitution unto the owner thereof. If it be torn in pieces, then let him bring it for witness, and he shall not make good that which was torn. And if a man borrow aught of his neighbor, and it be hurt or die, the owner thereof being not with it, he shall surely make it good. Verse 15. But if the owner thereof be with it, he shall not make it good. If it be a hired thing, it came for his hire. And if a man entice a maid that is not betrothed and lie with her, he shall surely endow her to be his woman. If her father utterly refuse to give her unto him, he shall pay money according to the dowry of the virgins. You shall not suffer a witch to live. Damn. Okay, that's just all verse 18 got to say about that. We're going to go straight into it. You should not suffer a witch to live. Moving on. Whosoever lies with a beast shall surely be put to death. He that sacrifices unto any Elohim, save unto Yahuwah only, he shall be utterly destroyed. Verse 21. You shall neither vex a stranger, nor oppress him, for ye were strangers in the land of Mizraim. Ye shall not afflict any widow or fatherless child. If you afflict them in any wise, and they cry at all unto me, I will surely hear their cry, and my wrath shall wax hot, and I will kill you with the sword, and your women shall be widows, and your children fatherless. If you lend money to any of my people that is poor by you, you shall not be to him as an user, neither shall you lay upon him usury. If you at all take your neighbor's raiment to pledge, you should deliver it unto him, by that the sun goes down. For that is his covering only, it is his raiment for his skin, wherein shall he sleep. And it shall come to pass, when he cries unto me, that I will hear, for I am gracious. Verse 28. You shall not revile the Elohim, nor curse the ruler of your people. Don't take his name in vain. You should not delay to offer the first of your ripe fruits, and of your liquors, the firstborn of your sons shall you give unto me. Verse 30. Likewise shall you do with your oxen and with your sheep. 7 days it shall be with his dam. On the 8th day you shall give it me. Final verse 31. And ye shall be holy men unto me. Neither shall ye eat any flesh that is torn of the beast in the field. Ye shall cast it to the dogs. I don't know why, but for whatever reason, you got a lot of vegans that seem to think that verse in particular means that you ain't supposed to eat of any flesh, and that's not what it means at all. Like if you got a sheep that gets torn apart by a wolf, you kill the wolf, you're not supposed to eat the sheep that got killed by the wolf. You let it be the food for the dogs. That's nasty to turn around and eat something that was already being eaten on, chewed on. With that being said, Yanakota, you want to do a final chapter 23? Yanakota, you there? You good?
My bad. I still had it on. I still had it on mute. All right. Exodus chapter 23 and 1. Final chapter of the night, y'all. And it reads this and likewise. Do not bring a false report. Do not put your hand with the wicked to be malicious witness. Do not follow a crowd to do evil, nor bear witness in strife, so as to turn aside after many to pervert. And do not favor a poor man in his strife. When you meet your enemy's ox or his donkey going astray, you shall certainly return it to him. When you see the donkey of him who hates you lying under its burden, you shall refrain from leaving it to him. You shall certainly help him. Do not turn aside the right ruling of your poor in his strife. Keep yourself far from a false matter. Keep yourself far from a false matter, and do not kill the innocent and the righteous, for I do not declare the wicked right. And do not take a bribe, for a bribe blinds the seeing ones and twists the words of the righteous. And do not oppress a sojourner, as you yourselves know the life of a sojourner, because you were sojourners in the land of Mitzrayim. And for 6 years, you are to sow your land and shall gather its increase. But the seventh year you are to let it rest, and shall leave it, and the poor of your people shall eat. And what they leave, the beasts of the field eat. Do the same with your vineyards and your olive yard. 6 days you are to do your work, and on the seventh day you rest, in order that your ox and your donkey might rest, and your son and the son of your female servant and sojourner be refreshed. And in all that I have said, to you, take heed, and make no mention of the name of other mighty ones. I'm going to say this again. This is important. In all that I have said, take heed. Make no mention of the name of other mighty ones. Let it not be heard from your mouth. 3 times in the year you are to celebrate a festival to me. Guard the festival of Matzah. 7 days you shall eat unleavened bread, as I command you. At the time appointed in the month of Abib, for in it you came out of Mitzrayim. And do not appear before me empty-handed. In the festival of harvest, the first fruits of your labors which you have sown in the field, and the festival of ingathering, at the outgoing of the year, when you have gathered in the fruit of your labors from the field. 3 times in the year all your males are to appear before the Adon Yahuwah. Do not offer the blood of my slaughter with the leavened bread, and the fat of my festival shall not remain until morning. Bring the first of the first fruits of your land into the house of Yahuwah your Elohim. Do not cook a young goat in its mother's milk. See, I am sending messengers before you to guard you in the way, and to bring you into the place which I have prepared. Be on guard before him, and obey his voice, and do not rebel against him, for he is not going to pardon your transgression, for my name is in him. But if you diligently obey his voice, and shall do all that I speak, then I shall be an enemy to your enemies, and a distresser to those who distress you. For my messenger shall go before you, and shall bring you into the Amorites, and the Hittites, and the Perizzites, and the Canaanites, and the Hivites, and the Jebusites, and I shall cut them off. Do not bow down to their mighty ones, nor serve them, nor do according to their works, but without fail overthrow them, and without fail break down their pillars. And you shall serve Yahuwah your Elohim, and he shall barak your bread and your water, and I shall remove sickness from your midst. None shall miscarry or be barren in your land. I shall fill the number of your days. I shall send my fear before you, and cause confusion amongst all the people whom you come, and make all your enemies turn their backs to you. And I shall send hornets before you, and shall drive out the Hivites, and the Canaanites, and the Hittites from before you. I shall not drive them out from before you in 1 year, lest the land become a waste and the beasts of the fields become too numerous for you. Little by little I shall drive them out from before you until you have increased and you have inherited the land. And I shall appoint your border from the sea of reeds to the sea of the Philistine, and from the wilderness to the river. For I shall give the inhabitants of the land into your hand, and you shall drive them out before you. Do not make a covenant with them, nor with their mighty ones. Do not make a covenant with them, nor their mighty ones. Let them not dwell in your land, lest lest they make you sin against me when you serve their mighty ones, when it becomes a snare to you. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah. Mm, mm, mm. We just sat here and literally read what we should be doing, what we should be keeping. And it ain't hard. It ain't hard at all. It's really common sense if you're a good person. I mean, none of that seemed hard. I could be wrong. I don't know. I don't think that I am. I do the best that I can. I know I fall every day, but damn. For the most part, large part, by and by, I mean, I just can't wait for this to be over, y'all. I yearn for the day to be able to go home, our home, and not have to worry about what's going to happen on a day-by-day basis every time me and my family wake up and have to leave the house. You got anything to say, Yanakotha?
Well, it's plain and simple. When you read Exodus 23, that there was things that we supposed to do and how we supposed to do it. When we step outside of these things, Israel, we realize that we do get hit with these curses, and we always ask ourselves, man, why? Why? How's everybody getting up above us, but we still down here? You know, how is that even possible? I mean, that's even true with these camps. You look at these camps. Look at these camps. These camps got these Mexicans in there, right? And they talking about, oh, well, they're Israelites too. But why is it that their community is doing better than your community and we supposed to be the same people? See, they can't explain that. They can't break that down. They damn sure don't want to talk about the genetics of it all. They damn sure don't want to break down the historical reference points to it. They just stuck on the whole 12 tribes chart, one West theology. And I get that. That's what it is, but it ain't the truth. When we get to reading these scriptures, we start finding out stuff we didn't know. We didn't know that when Moses went up on the mountain, the Most High wrote the laws down on blue sapphire tablets. It wasn't granite stone. It was blue sapphire. So these are things that we need to research for ourselves, especially the law. While we sit here and argue about, prophecy and what Esau looked like and all of that, you ask them what's in the Torah, what they know, anything about the Torah. You ask them anything about the Torah. Hey, what's the law on this and what's the law on that according to the Torah? They couldn't tell you, but they'll argue with you all day long about, the Asians being a Moabite or whatever, even though that ain't true either. Like, it's a lot of foolishness when we supposed to be studying this Torah, when we supposed to be making ourselves familiar with our laws, statutes, customs, and culture. When we supposed to be learning that, I see us easily getting distracted by some of the stuff that honestly don't really matter.
I feel that. All right, y'all. Well, we're going to go ahead and land this plane. What I will say is if you enjoyed the reading tonight, stay tuned. Continue rocking with us as we continue this series on a weekly basis. Not only that, sooner or later, I know I keep saying it, but we will be getting to a point to where we'll start putting out some other videos as well. But for the time being, if you're looking for more edification, damn, I can't speak, edification, by all means, you can either come to this channel and click the playlist, and then from there you can, or podcast. From there, you could click on Negro Onlys, and we have other Black history, Israelite history that's in our podcast and playlist. If you're still looking for more and that just doesn't fit just yet, you can check out Ak Kadar with Resurrecting the Truth. He's doing big things on his channel. You got Neftali's New School of Thought. Sis Hadassah's The Hidden Ones channel is doing great things. Again, we have the Negro Only's main channel. In order to get there, because we shadow banded, click on playlist or podcast, and we have Negro Only's that'll take you straight to the channel. Benaya Israel, you know, he's always doing his thing. He don't need any help from us, but we're gonna send his name out there anyways for people that's on that constant search for the truth, as much of the truth as we can possibly get our hands on, while knowing all the while the only truth that we do have our hands on is the truth that our captors is releasing little by little. So we making it do with what we got, right? Yana Coulter, final statements.
Final statement would be, remember Ecclesiastes 12 and 13, for this is the conclusion of the entire matter. Fear Yahuwah and guard his command, for this is the duty of all men. And I like to say, Baruch atah Yahuwah Eloheinu, Baruch atah Yahshua HaMashiach, Baruch haba Hashem Adonai. What I'm saying is, blessings be to Yahuwah the Elohim, blessings be to Yeshua the Messiah. Blessed is he who comes in the name of the Most High. With that, I say shalom.
Hallelujah. And I will say, Baruch atah Yahuwah Sebaoth, Barach HaShamayim, Hara Haaretz, Allah Hakim Shel Abraham, Yitzchak, Yaakov, Eloheinu, Al Kadash, Echad Yisrael, Elohai Yeshai, Asher Natan Lanu, Ruach Beriyah. Blessed are you, Yahuwah, the armies, creator of the heavens and the earth, the Elohim of Abraham, Yitzchak, and Yaakov, our Elohim, the Holy One of Yisrael, my El and my salvation, for giving us the spirit of creation. With that being said, until next time, Yisrael, we love y'all. Stay tuned. Don't forget to hit that like, share, and subscribe button. Till next time.
Yeah, it's the blackout. And y'all know what them blacks about. Yeah. Okay, say it with me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Ain't no more black people going to hell. Let's go. Forget an LLC. The world was black owned. Black kings, black crowns on a black throne. Black kings, black queens making black clones. Black peace back east, bringing back those. Poverty, slavery, and they snatch souls. Prison system, feminism, and the crack soul. Still couldn't kill us, then we came back bold. The Most High put some fire on these black coals. I ain't here to jeopardize it, just to edify ya. This a Malcolm X mixed with some Hezekiah. This a Muhammad Ali with some Nehemiah. This will stop being the lowest, time to get higher. Even at our best, we still ain't maxed out. I wish I had a wood, I bring the axe out. And all we ever do is bring the facts out. Once the blacks come in, it's a blackout. Wow. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Ain't no more black people going to hell. Yisrael, let's go.